Antes de empezar este gran día, quiero tomar un momento muy especial. Como saben, el pasado 31 de marzo falleció Richard Rogers, hijo de Mary Kay. Su liderazgo, visión y compromiso han sido parte clave del crecimiento de nuestra compañía, para llegar a millones de personas alrededor del mundo. Richard dedicó su vida en proteger y hacer crecer la compañía que construyó con su madre. Él creía plenamente en la oportunidad y el gran poder de cada una de las consultoras y consultores Mary Kay. Veamos el siguiente mensaje que tiene Ryan para todos nosotros.
The single most important priority in my life is my mother's dream. She knew that this dream is larger than her life, larger than my life, and larger than just one generation.
So many of us know and remember that unmistakable, commanding voice. For Mary Kay Ash, it was the voice of her co-founder, her business partner, and her son. For me, it was the voice of the smartest businessman I ever knew, my favorite mentor, and my father. By now, many of you are aware of the passing of my father, Mary Kay's son and co-founder of Mary Kay Inc., Richard Rogers, on Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. He was 82. I want to thank you for all of the heartfelt messages and memories so many of you have shared with me over the last many days. It's been heartwarming and comforting to hear from so many of you, independent Salesforce members and employees who worked with him and knew him, and even so many of you who are newer to Mary Kay that didn't. What a testament to Richard's impact and legacy on our company and on so many of us. I wanted to take a moment to pay tribute to my dad and the incredible impact he had on Mary Kay. Thousands of employees over the years and many more thousands of members of the Mary Kay independent sales force. Richard was just 20 years old in September 1963 when he and my grandmother, along with his brother and sister, Ben and Marilyn, started Mary Kay Cosmetics. They embodied boldness, grit, and determination, literally risking it all for a dream they believed in. In an era that celebrates entrepreneurship, Mary Kay and Richard were the original entrepreneurs. Within 5 years of the beginning, he was named president of the company. He had an unmistakable acumen for business and marketing. Many called him a genius, a savant even, with financial figures and numbers. Once my grandmother had settled on a pink Cadillac as a reward to herself for a growing business, she and Richard brilliantly rewarded successful independent beauty consultants with a similar trophy on wheels, which is now an iconic symbol of Mary Kay that lives on with our own modern take. One of Richard's biggest accomplishments was taking the company public and listed on the New York Stock Exchange in 1976. But my grandmother didn't like making decisions based on the whims of distant shareholders and their definition of profit and loss. She uniquely defined P&L as people and love. Only Richard understood. And he organized and led a leveraged buyout in 1985, buying the company back and returning it to my grandmother's, our family's, privately held hands. Richard also understood that he was meant to be behind the scenes. He had an undying love for his mother and for the Mary Kay independent sales force, knowing that none of the company's success would have been possible without either. He retired the first time in 1987 and was named chairman, only to return as CEO in 2001. It was then he made what may have been the most important speech of his career to the independent sales force at Mary Kay seminar.
On my first day back to work, I drove down that 4-lane street that goes under the Mary Kay World Corporate Headquarters building. That street goes under and connects to the foundation of that building. It connects to the pillars that support that building. And I stopped and looked at the street sign It's called Mary Kay Way. And that's the way it will be. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
And the Mary Kay way has been the way the company has been run ever since. One of Richard's most important and impactful decisions was becoming executive chairman and appointing David Hull as CEO in 2006. I had the pleasure of working with and learning from and advising both of them. David and I share a love and appreciation for what my grandmother and father built together. I learned a lot from my dad, both from what he told me, but also by the example of leadership I saw him live. And much of the way he led was passed along by my grandmother. They were a force together, and now it's my honor and privilege to carry the mantle, to follow in their footsteps. I know my dad's hope for me was to pursue my own passions, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I've been called to lead Mary Kay, and my passion lies in ensuring the company continues to evolve and enrich women's lives for many decades to come, just like Mary Kay and Richard would have wanted. The Mary Kay way. Together, we are their legacy.